You know, I've come to one simple conclusion. In this life, nothing is truly worth it unless you're willing to put everything on the line. I mean it. Eleanor Roosevelt once put it perfectly. The point of life is to live it to the utmost, to reach out eagerly and without fear for newer and richer experience. Never settle for less. While you were studying, picking your major, and mapping out your career, I bet people were in your ear saying, get a safety net, have a plan B, just in case you fail. Honey, just make sure you have something to fall back on if it doesn't work out. But here's the thing, I never understood that concept. Why would I want to fall back into a comfort zone? If I'm going to fall flat on my face, I want to fall forward. At least that way, I'll see what I'm about to hit. That's the secret. Without iron discipline, you'll never cross the finish line. So, do what makes your heart race. Take the risk. And for God's sake, don't be afraid to fail. Remember that old school test with the 9 dots? You had to connect them with 4 lines without lifting your pencil. You can't solve it if you try to stay inside the box. The solution is always outside. Life is the same way. Stop drawing boundaries around your mind. Позвольте себе совершать эпические ошибки. Dream big. But remember one thing. Dreams without goals are just pretty pictures in your head. Let me give you some numbers to chew on. Michael Jordan missed more than 9,000 shots in his career. 9,000! He lost hundreds of games. Dozens of times, he was trusted to take the game-winning shot, and he missed. But who remembers that? The world only remembers the championship rings. Or look at James Dyson. The guy built 5,126 failed prototypes of his vacuum cleaner. 5,000 attempts that went nowhere. But the 5,127th version ended up revolutionizing an entire industry. Every single one of those crashes wasn't an end. It's just another step up the ladder. Look, I'm not trying to scare you, but risk isn't an option. It's a necessity. At some point, you will lose. You will fail. You will look ridiculous, and you'll realize you're absolutely hopeless at something. That's just a fact. And even though it sounds weird for a graduation speech, I'm telling you, embrace it. It's inevitable. In the acting world, rejection is your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. When I was young, I auditioned for a Broadway musical. I was certain this role was made for me. There was just one tiny problem. I couldn't sing to save my life. I blew the audition, obviously, but I didn't give up. I just went to the next casting call. And the next. And the one after that. I prayed, I fell, and I got back up. There's an old saying, if you hang around the barbershop long enough, sooner or later, you're gonna get a haircut. I waited for my turn. Last year, I did a play called Fences on Broadway. And here's the irony. It was at the Court Theater. The exact same place where I had tanked that very first audition 30 years ago. Every one of you is sitting there with a degree and a ton of talent. But do you have the guts to fail? If you aren't failing, you aren't even trying. To get results you've never had, you have to do things you've never done. Imagine your final hour. You're on your deathbed, and standing around your bed are ghosts. These are the ghosts of your unfulfilled potential. The ghosts of ideas you were too afraid to act on. The spirits of talents you buried in the backyard. And they aren't looking at you with pity. They're looking at you with anger. We came to you because only you could have brought us to life, they whisper. And now we have to go to the grave together. Kind of haunting, right? So I'm asking you, how many ghosts are going to be gathered around your bed when your time comes? I was in South Africa recently. It's a stunning country, but the poverty there is heartbreaking. And Africa is just the tip of the iceberg. The Middle East, Ukraine, your own hometowns. The world is starving for people who actually give a damn. The world needs energy, and we're looking to you to provide it. Seriously, we need your young blood and your fire. I look at my colleagues up here. We're all getting a little gray. We need you. Get out there and give it everything you've got. And it doesn't matter how much is in your bank account. Some of you will be doctors, some entrepreneurs, some sociologists. Some have capital, some have endless patience, kindness, or the gift of empathy. It doesn't matter what your gift is. What matters is what you do with it. And one last thing. Failure is sometimes the best GPS to tell you where you actually need to go. Life is never a straight highway. I started out as a pre-med student at Fordham. I signed up for a course called Cardiac Morphogenesis. I couldn't even pronounce the name, let alone pass the exam. Eventually, my GPA dropped to 1.8, and the university very politely suggested I take a break. I was 20 years old, hitting rock bottom. And then, I remember the exact day, March 27th, 1975. I was helping my mom in her beauty shop. There was this woman there, a local elder. She was just staring at me in the mirror. Finally, she took the dryer off her head and said something I'll never forget. "Young man, I have a prophecy for you. You are going to travel the world and speak to millions of people." And in the years that followed, it all came true. I traveled the world. I spoke to millions through a screen, even though, until today, they only saw my characters, not the real me. But today, I see you, and what I see gives me hope. Risk isn't just about finding a job. It's about having the courage to say, I don't know everything. It's about being open to new people and crazy ideas. The bets you make, the people you meet, and the faith you keep. That is what will define you as a person.